Welcome back to the studio. It's Tracy Treese, and for this session, we are going over dynamic ad revenue. So, when most people think about podcasts, they think about recording it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I recorded the ads in it." This is a huge misconception. Even a lot of the larger shows by celebrities and influencers that we manage, they just think they can just read the ad completely, which you can do. That way is called baked in. And that means that you're just saying your episode and then you'll say, oh, and stop right here. This is a message from our sponsors. Before I forget, let me just, you're naturally going into it, into the audio, which some people do, especially if they have a free form podcast where they're just kind of ranting a little bit and going on the ways of which they're going on. But as your podcast gets bigger, it'll be harder to control those because copy changes, and a business might want to buy more weeks, buy less. Things change, so you need to be able to take the ad out and tweak it and put it back in. That's called dynamically inserting your ads. DAI, dynamic ad insertion. You'll see that on every podcast thing, and that's what they're talking about. They're basically saying record the episode business as usual, record your ad separately, and then use your podcast hosting form, which is Resonate, to upload the ads, and then just they'll get sprinkled in. So sometimes you'll be listening to podcasts and it'll cut off a sentence. They'll just be talking, and then you got to add, boom, need better help, or hey, Manscaped. All these different ads will come in, and that's because they're being dynamically inserted. There's a lot of positive things about this. One of the things is that you can change the advertiser once the campaign is done. So if let's try to pick somewhere local. A pool company. A pool company is advertising on your swimming podcast, right? You can go in there and cut a deal with them and say, hey, this is how much I'm going to charge you $200 per ad read per episode. And those are going to stay in there for 60 days. After the 60th day, technically you can, excuse me, you can contact their competitors and offer the same thing. And you'll see it sometimes with Talkspace and BetterHelp, and it'll just kind of go back and forth between the couple of them. But once the campaign is done, if they're dynamically inserted, you can take that ad out and put another one, because people are still listening to your podcast even though the episode came out weeks ago, months ago. Back catalogs do numbers, and you can sometimes put together ad campaigns for your back catalog. So if you have a bunch of episodes that are up already and you're 2 years in, I highly suggest you move to a program like Resonate, where you can it'll move all your stuff over from your old feed, and then start selling ads on the episodes you've already had. You know which ones are hitters, which ones are winners, which ones people are still listening to. You can reach out to advertisers and say, hey, it's been up a year and this people are still visiting this because of the guests that I had on, or because of the content, or because of whatever reason. Sell, if you still have traffic there, sell the ads for there. Wow, I went right into my second point without even looking down at my paper. I am really a pro. The other thing is that when you dynamically insert ads into your episode, is you can do multiples. I don't suggest you do more than 3 mid-roll ads, because then you're going to lose people. What you're going to see is that as people start to listen to your episode, they're going to hit that ad bank, and then nobody's going to return after the ad break if you have more than 3, unless your people are like cool with your ads and you're doing a really good job reading them. That's another thing, because a lot of this you can control by just making it really natural, and or telling a funny story to lead people into the ad read. It's all about that, and I'll be doing some workshops on that moving forward. But just keep this in your mind. This is the beginning. We're talking about the monetization mindset, how to get it started. So you can sell multiple ads on a different episode. You can do pre-rolls, post-rolls, mid-rolls. So you can sell ads on the front, tail end, and even in the middle. The middle is the best part. That's what everybody wants. Based on listening data, I think that they feel like it hits more people, even though if it was a pre-roll, that's the first thing people hear. But I'm sure there's some scientific data with people who actually purchase into that. So we'll follow that. But I always sell pre-rolls as bonus. I'll sell you a mid-roll and I'll give you a pre, just for a little free. You can do that. And another thing is if you dynamically insert your ads and you use a complex system like Resonate. I don't mean complex like it's hard to use, but I mean that it's smart. It uses artificial technology. You can actually serve ads to a specific population of people based on where they live, based on how much money they have, based on any of the things that pull up in Spotify as demographic information, their ages. You can break out different ads for different groups that don't apply to people. It's just you're in control of everything if you dynamically insert your ads. So definitely as things start to pick up for you, it'll become more important. But trust and believe, you want a system where you can dynamically insert your ads into there. I think that's all I got for dynamic ad revenue. And there are a lot of people based on, and the more money you make, the more you make more money every time the ad is served and you actually convert. So that's another thing, is that the goal is to use those codes and to track the code so that we know how many people are buying or how many people are signing up. And you can use a test, record an ad, dynamically insert it into your podcast as yourself, and just tell people to sign up for a subscription list or something that you got, a mailing list or something like that, just to see how many people are actually listening to the point where they'll actually do something actionable on their phone. And if people aren't buying or anything, you need to tighten up your call to action. Say it 3 times, 4 times. If people are listening, old radio trick, you got to say it again. It's the reason why they keep saying the phone number over and over again. You're not going to remember it. The URL on the website, it takes a couple times in frequency for people to actually get it. So if you open up the ad and you're like, hey, it's Trees and I'm talking to you about 1-800-Flowers. I was trying to figure out what I was going to get my wife for our anniversary. I was running around. I couldn't figure out nothing. My pockets was a little short. I went on 1-800-Flowers.com and got a bundle deal. I got $50 whole off. That's 1-800-Flowers.com. And if you want to do the same thing for your wife, please visit 1-800. It sounds obnoxious, but there's a science to it, and you don't have to be as cheesy as I am. But stories make it a little bit better so that people feel like they're going on the journey with you. So that was dynamic ad revenue, really starting to build that residual income with ads coming in. Stay tuned for the next session. I'll be talking about affiliate marketing. This is something that you can start today with $0 and start to get some money from advertising. So stay tuned. I'll see you in your next module.